You're listening to the Geek Blues Podcast, the show that tunes you in and hypes you up on your favorite anime and games. Glad you could make it, Geek Bros and Bluesettes. And now, without further ado, here's Genbu and the Geek Blues crew with today's episode. So sit back and enjoy the ride. You're in good hands. And don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Geek Blues Podcast. I'm your host Genbu, and tonight we're going to be getting into the Brawly movie that recently came out. With me tonight, I got Majora. How's it going, buddy?
How are you doing, man? I'm really excited for this episode. I've been waiting for so long to do it.
I know you have. That's why, I'm glad that you were available for it to do it with me.
Yeah, I'm real sorry about last episode. It's just, work calls.
Oh, I understand that. Yeah, trust me, I know how that is. But I'm always grateful to have, any one of you guys join me on an episode, so. But moving forward, before we get into everything, you can find us at www.geekbluespodcast.com. We're also on all forms of social media. Check out our posts on Facebook and on Instagram. And I got to start working more on Twitter, but we're on Twitter as well. And we are also on all listening platforms. So you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on, well, actually, YouTube's more of a viewing, but you can still listen to us there too. And anyway, we're also on iHeartRadio. We're on TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio, and a bunch of other stuff too. Like what's the real popular one? We're on the iTunes. Well, you know what? What? Not the iTunes, but we're on iTunes. I sound like some senior citizen. Oh yeah, the iTunes.
Really showing your age, man. Really showing your age.
Hold on, I'm still in my 20s. Okay. I just wasn't thinking why I said that. Once it came out of my mouth, I was like, I sounded pretty old right there. The iTunes, we're on the iTunes, yes. Yeah. So before we get into the main topic of Brawly, all right, and how we at Geek Blues, thought about the movie, let's get into some news. Majora, you have some news you want to mention to our listeners?
Yeah, I have two relatively small pieces of news, but it's interesting for different reasons. The first one because it's a fairly not necessarily recent franchise; it's a bit old, back to the PlayStation 3 when it first came out. And after so many years of trying to have this pursued, they finally have some sort of a grounding for it. So Sony had recently casted Tom Holland to play young Nathan Drake from the Uncharted games in the upcoming movie. Well, the more important portion of this now is that they finally found a director who will actually stick to the project. They've had numerous directors that either fell through or just didn't show interest in it, so they got dropped. This person, whose name is a little more annoying to pronounce out, is Dan Trachtenberg. Sorry if I butchered that. He's been the director of movies like 10 Cloverfield Lane, the short movie based on the game Portal called Portal No Escape. He's done numerous short films, skits, and also various podcasts, and he seems to be very into the project, so I'm really excited for that because Uncharted is one of my favorite franchises of all time. It's just amazing.
Did you say Tom Holland, Spider-Man Tom Holland?
Yep, he's going to be playing a young Nathan Drake.
Can he even grow a beard?
It's young Nathan Drake, you don't have to. This is probably back
How young
orphanage
are we
days.
Talking?
Probably back in orphanage
young?
days, or if you played Uncharted 3, probably the scenes where he first meets Sully when he's early to mid teenage years.
Do people really care that much about Nathan Drake to be making a movie after him?
Well,
I guess they must. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they make movies about Tomb Raider, and the newest Tomb Raider games
hold on.
Hold up. No, I'm just saying. Are you really trying to play Tomb
Raider right now?
No, what I'm saying is the newer Tomb Raider.
As in,
games
when I say play, I mean like this.
No, I'm not trying to diss it. What I'm saying is that the newer Tomb Raider games, they pay a lot of homages to the Uncharted games in the way that they portray storytelling and the scenery, where it almost feels like a movie. So for them to make a movie off of Uncharted, or for them to make a movie off of Tomb Raider, I feel that it's appropriate for them to make an Uncharted movie, which they've been trying to do for years as it is. So it's not a new concept. Now, whether or not it's going to be good it's up for debate, because as you know, video game movies and anime movies generally don't go so well.
Wait, what about this whole the Tomb Raider games, the recent ones being based off the what's it called, Uncharted?
It's
Uncharted,
paying
right?
like it pays homages to the way they do certain things in
How?
game. Well, the cutscene variants, the way the movement is, the
Oh
parkour
no,
aspect,
that's
a
every
lot of
game.
stuff like that.
That's
If you play two games or if you watch it side by side, there's a lot of similarities. I'm not saying they stole it or they ripped it off, but they, you know how video games do. They borrow mechanics or borrow things that they feel will increase the impact of the gameplay or the storytelling. And I'm not saying they do it in a bad
yeah,
way. They
but
do it very well.
Nathan Drake is just a male version of Laura Croft, and
He's
she was
not.
around way longer.
No,
Than
he is
he
not.
is.
She was a
Yeah, he
dad.
is.
She was a daddy's girl with a big mansion. This dude came from nothing.
All right. Well, actually, she trains. She trains in many different survival techniques and acrobats and martial arts and guns and everything. Like she didn't. She doesn't just have money and an accent. I mean, this girl's got. She knows her way around the tombs and around cities and around a gunfight.
Have you played Uncharted before?
I've dabbled in it. I wasn't impressed.
I highly recommend that you at least play the second game and finish the second game before you make a judgment. Because the first one is but the second one is where it really, really gets good. And
How many Uncharted games are there?
there are four main titles, and there's one for the PS Vita, I believe, or PSP. I'm not sure which one it was, but that one I think was called The Lost Legacy. Um, Definitely though, the highlight story wise is definitely Uncharted 4. That one hits home extremely hard for fans.
I dabbled in it. I gotta check it out a little bit more to see. But from what I viewed and played, I thought Tomb Raider was better. And Tomb Raider. I mean, you can't really. That is like the OG when it comes to the adventure temple games and everything, and artifacts and puzzles. That's one of the OGs, definitely. I think in that genre,
Oh
if
yeah, it
not the
is.
OG of that genre.
And most of some of their games have aged perfectly. Other ones, it's still fun to dabble in. But again, to you and the viewers, if you haven't played Uncharted or you really didn't get into it the first time, I highly recommend giving it another try. And especially because they have the package for Uncharted 1 through 3 for the PlayStation 4 pretty cheap. It's honestly a steal.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. That's all. That's all I can say for that. I'll give the the male Lara Croft a try next time I'm in the GameStop. All right. So, what's the next piece of news, Major?
So the next piece of news is something that I'm personally excited about, even though I know I can't participate in it because one, I don't have the damn time of from work to travel, and two, I do not have this much money to go travel and spend. But Disney had announced that their Disney Ambassador Hotel in Japan will be promoting Kingdom Hearts 3 with a themed room based off the series for a limited time from March 26th until June 20th. The rooms will be decorated with Kingdom Hearts themed sheets, picture frames, and on the backboards of the beds, they're going to have Dream Drop Distance, Sora, Riku, and Mickey going into dream state. So, it's almost like, when you're going to sleep sort of thing. It's really cool. Um, but those who purchase the package will also receive 4 limited edition double-sided postcards and boxes that contains a key to each room that have specific locks. But the keys are in the shape of the Kingdom Key, a very large one at that you're actually able to keep after your stay as a collector's item. So it's really cool. And then furthermore, there'll also be a special menu themed around Kingdom Hearts where you also receive limited edition collectibles like coasters and whatnot. The rooms will be 41 square meters large with a choice, or that might be feet. I might have, that website might have had a little bit of a translation error, but
Wait, what was the measurement?
it said 41 square meters large, but I'm pretty sure they probably meant 41
Well,
square feet,
no. I mean, in Japan they use a different metric system than we do. That's probably why I said that.
probably.
Not a different metric system, but we use different measurements. Because
Yeah.
we don't use the metric system here in this country.
No, 41 square meters is pretty large. But then again, when you hear the price of the room, it's probably more accurate anyway. You also have a choice between 2 regular beds and a trundle bed, or I believe 1 bed and a smaller bed as well. The price will run you about $430 a night, which is a lot of money. But you consider it's a limited, event thing. You get a bunch of collectibles that they're not making again, and it's just a time spent there. Plus, nothing saying that you have to stay in the hotel the whole time. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's Disneyland. So, for that price,
This
I
is in
would love to
Japan,
go.
right?
Yeah.
I would have thought they'd have something more in there besides that. I mean, it is Japan. They're known for like those love hotels. Like, can they at least supply some condoms and shit, some special Kingdom Hearts condoms, or some alcohol or something to go through?
Like we
I don't know, some edible underwears. I don't know.
something like
Am I right? Is Japan not known for those love hotels? Are they not? Are they not?
oh, they are, but we don't know everything that comes with the room yet. That's just the information they've released so far.
Yeah, so I'm saying here's a tip, from Genbu, Disneyland in Japan, who's hosting these Kingdom Hearts themed rooms. Have a little bit of some zazz with those items you're giving out.
Have like a glow in the dark condom that leaves like a Kingdom Key fucking tattoo on your freaking junk or something. Something cool. Like, damn.
I mean, I don't want a tattoo on.
Oh, it's one of those temporary ones.
But you do see where I'm going with this at least. So
Yeah, just something. One of those. Little
I need more than if I'm going to be going to Japan and staying, which I would love to do, to go there and stay at this room. I just if I'm going there and spend that much money, I want a little bit more than some postcards and Sora, Donald, and Goofy looking at me while I'm sleeping. But like I said, give me some alcohol, some of those edibles. All right, you know what I'm talking about. Give me my own little personal vending machine. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Okay. No, I'm done. I'm done. All right, what's the next piece of news?
That's pretty much it. Aside from that, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out next week, so if y'all pre-ordered it, you have yourselves a good time. I did. I have the PlayStation 4 Pro Edition pre-ordered, so I'm going to get that brand new special edition Kingdom Hearts 4 PlayStation and a nice new controller with it.
Yeah, GameStop called me actually earlier today around like 3:30. It was like ding, 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 ding. I was like, I didn't know, I didn't recognize the number, so usually I don't answer the phone if I don't recognize the number. But I was like, I'm feeling kind of adventurous today, so I answered it. And they're like, "Hello, Mr. Genbu," and I'm like, "This is he." And they didn't say Mr. Genbu. I'm paraphrasing. Mr. Genbu, we have Kingdom Hearts 3 ready for you next week at so-and-so date. You can come by at this time to get your receipt, and at that time to get the game. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, word? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, well, thank you. And they're like, all right, have a good day, Mr. Genbu. And so I'm glad they do that, though. It's a good reminder that, to pick up my merchandise and everything.
Oh, yeah, it's a good reminder. Hey, you owe us money. Come pay it.
Well, I already put money down on that, so they need to make sure they keep my money, held down right, so that when I come there and get this game, the balance adds up correctly. So that's on them. And if the shit ain't right, I'm hopping over that desk. All right, but that's a whole nother different story. So, but anyway, one more piece of news. Excuse me, is as far as Jump Force goes, there is a new ad that came out for Jump Force that shows Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Dai from the Dragon Quest anime. Now, I'm a big fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Do you watch that show?
I do not, actually.
Oh, you probably should.
Probably should.
But but the other one that I mentioned, the character Dai from the Dragon Quest, The Adventures of Dai manga. I never really heard of that. So I'm gonna look that one up later on tonight, find out what that's about. But I never heard of that character. But Jotaro, I'm definitely excited to play as, and I'm glad they picked him. Because there are other characters in the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure franchise they could have picked, which I would have been happy with. I would have been happy with Jonathan. I would have been happy with Joseph. But Jotaro is pretty popular, so he's cool. He has that stand and everything. So looking forward to playing him, seeing what he can do in the game. But other than that, I don't really have much news. I left it all to Majora today. So that being said...
And that's the way the news goes.
Now, you know what time it is? Dun, 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 dun. You know what? Why am I doing my own theme music? We have our own theme music for this segment. All right, it's called Guess That Anime Opening, where I play an anime opening song and you guess what anime it comes from, everybody. Majora, are you ready?
I think you got the name of the game wrong. It's you tell me the answer so I can guess it correctly.
Okay. I don't know. I think we've been playing this game for a little while. I don't think that's how it went, but who knows? Maybe if you in the future, rules could change, or you guys could just upgrade your skill level when it comes to watching these
I see
anime
how
openings.
it is. All right, bring it on then. Let's go.
All right, let's start our segment. Guess that anime opening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, geeks and ghouls, nerds and fools. I'm Genbu, and this is Guess That Anime Opening. Now, usually, we only do 2 of these per recording or per episode, but I'm feeling kind of good tonight. So I decided to have 3 instead of 2. Because what did they say about 3? 3 times the charm, right?
No, that's not what they say.
No, they don't. What did they say then?
They say 2's better than 3.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Or 3 strikes, you're out. We can go with that one.
3 smoking.
I've not watched that show in a long ass time. That's an old show. I don't even know about that.
My favorite band is the Beatles, and you're asking me how I like old stuff. That's a funny joke.
Excuse me. All right, I stand corrected then. So, here is the first anime opening for tonight's segment. Are you ready, Majora?
Sure, we can go with that.
All right, here we go.
夜に閉じ込められた子は無表情に息を止めた
All right, any idea?
That definitely seems like a anime with a lot of action. I can say that.
Are you trying to get hints? I'm not giving you no hints.
No, I'm not trying to get any hints, but it's like I'm trying to work out, because like usually anime openings they give a feel to how the anime is. I'm trying to get into it, and it's like I can't put a name to it.
This anime has action, and folks at home, I hope you're playing along too. All right. Hopefully someone listening got it, because Majora damn sure ain't getting it.
I ain't getting that ever.
Oh, I was kind of joking. I was hoping you were kind of like thinking of an answer.
No. Bro, I'm going through my mind. It's just like, It's like the Family Feud.
All right, so I'm going to give you the answer right now for that one, okay?
Yep.
So, that anime opening came from Tokyo Ghoul RE.
That makes sense, because I didn't watch RE.
Wow. All right, so moving on to our next opening.
What?
Here we go.
Oh my fucking god.
Do you know it?
I do, and I'm trying to put in... No, you don't understand. I know the minute that the first beat hit, I knew exactly what it is, and I'm trying to get it off the tip of my damn tongue. Like, you don't understand. Like, if you gave me the smallest hint, I promise you I would get it. This is how much it's bugging me. Like, this is how Dandy and Bill feel about, like, half the things you play. I literally know exactly what it is, and it's gonna bug me.
I think they feel that way about more than 3/4 of everything I play, because they don't really get the answers.
Like, was it Death Note? Was it the second opening to Death Note, or no?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, then that eliminates that. God, I know what it is. It's gonna bug me. It's gonna bug me because I know I watched this show during one summer when I used to be back in school, and I know it, and it's gonna bug me.
I don't know if there's a hint I could give you that wouldn't lead you right to the answer. It'd be kind of hard for me to give a hint. Yeah, I can't really do it, to be honest. I wish I could, but it would just give it away.
Oh, God, you don't understand how bad this is gonna plague my mind the whole entire episode because I know this, and if if I figure it out by the end of the episode, I'm gonna blurt it out before you tell me the answer at the end. But it's gonna bug the living crap out of me.
Well, I gave the answer for the first opening. I was going to do the same thing for this one too.
Oh God, I know it, and it just. You know what? Go ahead, tell me before I have like an aneurysm for the rest of the episode.
So this anime opening comes from Black Butler.
God, I asked you about Black Butler like last week too. If you've watched it, you told me I'm so mad. I knew it had something to do with some stupid vampire crap or some stupid dark stuff. I'm so annoyed. Like literally, I had 3 guesses in my mind. There was second opening to Death Note, which I couldn't remember much. Then it was Soul Eater, and then the other guess I had in my mind was Black Butler. But I was like, but would he play Black Butler though? I don't think so. And it's just
I've seen the anime, both seasons.
Man, I'm kicking myself right now. You don't understand.
Well, guess what? 3 times the charm, motherfucker. All right. Here we go with our third and final opening for the segment, ladies and gentlemen. 3, 2, 1. Do you know?
What the hell was that?
Oh, that was the one I thought you would get. Man.
Alright, so one thing you also have to understand, when I watch anime, after I see the opening like the first time, I usually skip it when going to the next episodes, because I binge watch like hell. So I always just skip it. And if it's something that I've watched, then you can disqualify the living hell out of me. And if it's not, you can disqualify me anyway.
Disqualified!
It's something that I should know, isn't it?
That anime opening was from My Hero Academia.
Fucking God. I'm gonna get fucking roasted for that, dude. You don't understand. I just completely skip openings every time.
You know, I think Bill and Dandy would have gotten that one, Majora. I'm a little disappointed in you.
No, they definitely would have.
I think they would have.
They would have
gotten that
one.
one.
We got it last time you played it. For some reason, I just feel playing. It's like
I played a different opening from that anime before.
I just skipped them. Like I think the only anime openings that I've like probably never skip are like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and like maybe a few other ones because they usually have different ones relatively, a lot. But
yeah, but so Majora, you did not get any of the openings tonight. That's all right though, because next week we'll have more.
Oh boy, I can't wait to keep losing.
Just so you guys know that I can play, like just because I play an anime opening from an anime does not mean I won't play another opening from the same anime. It'll be a different opening, but from the same show.
Oh man,
so that's a possibility, which I just did tonight.
Hey man, but you play those Naruto openings, I'll guess them every time. I'll even tell you the name of the openings.
The Naruto openings?
Yeah, man, you got like 6 million to choose from.
I'm gonna take you up in that challenge. All right,
I ain't actually gonna name them. I'll tell you if they're from Naruto or Shippuden. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. All right. So that being said, it's time to get into the main point of our topic, which is the Dragon Ball Broly movie.
Woo!
Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, come get
Ooh, I had to bring back a little nostalgia to all our listeners.
Man, I was listening. I was getting into that. You about made me ready to go buy another damn ticket to see the movie.
Yes, the Dragon Ball franchise, has had a long history. And I say that because, to go from where we came from with the Broly movies to where we came to last week with the opening of the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, huge difference. Huge. That's one of Trump's fucking statements. Huge.
It's huger than Broly's biceps. I'll say that.
Yes, and no, I did not vote for Trump. But anyway, so yeah, it's huge difference, definitely. So I'm gonna let you start us off, Major, because you're a huge Dragon Ball fan. So tell us what do you think? What do you have to say about the movie?
Uh, I've been a Dragon Ball fan since I was a child when I first watched it on Cartoon Network Tsunami, and watching the series grow over the years, and unfortunately, just seeing bad Broly movie after bad Broly movie, and Broly was one of the most underused non-canon characters that Dragon Ball had, and to see them bring it, not only making him canon, but giving him this new backstory, redesigning him, and using old and new animations to bring the movie to life, plus the absolutely amazing music that they used, it blew my mind. The only thing I can say about this movie is I absolutely loved it. Like this movie, it just astounded me. I didn't expect it to be this good when I was thinking about a Dragon Ball movie, especially when you compare it to Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. This one was more action packed than I could have expected, and I loved it. What about you? What do you have to say about it?
Definitely, I definitely agree with everything you just said, and the fact that they had this character Brawly. He is the way they introduced him, back in the day as being the legendary Super Saiyan. We definitely, I see, we see more of that. I feel like we saw more of that in this movie than we ever did in the last two of that power scale. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, especially
Like
with
of just exactly what the legendary Super Saiyan is or capable of, or what. And there is a particular trait that Brawler had in this movie that made him different than any other Saiyan, which we'll get to in a little bit. But
oh yes, we
they
will.
really expanded on it, so much, so well in this movie. Like we know why he is the legend that he is, and and I mean the other movies were they showed him how powerful he was. He was fighting Trunks, Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta at the same time, and still and still beating their ass and everything. But in this movie, it's so much more of a difference of his abilities and what he's capable of, and what his potential is, and how much he can grow as a character and a fighter. So we saw way more of that in this movie than we did in the last ones.
Yes, we did, and it's just not only the scale of his power, but the personality that they gave him, and just watching him and his personality actually fight, clashing with Vegeta's power and his personality, Goku's power, his personality. The way that they perceived each other wasn't like, hey, you're Kakarot, I want to kill you, or hey, my dad hates you, so I want to kill you. The way that they portrayed Broly in this movie was just absolutely perfect. Like, the best way I guess you could describe him as his personal character himself is like Space Tarzan. You know what I mean?
Space Tarzan.
He was raised feral in an unknown area, and now he comes in contact with life. Like you heard when he was talking to the people who rescued him, he was talking like almost broken English formal, like, you shouldn't say that. He is my dad. Like he's very pronounced, very respectful, but he's also been away from civilization all of his life.
Yeah, I like and going on what you said about them giving him personality. That's actually one of the things I really enjoyed the most, because throughout this movie, I did feel bad for him, and anything that makes me feel that way about the antagonist, that's already like 10 points right there for the film,
Oh
or
yeah,
book, or
hands
video
down.
game, or whatever it is I'm doing at the time. Like I felt bad for him because he was really just a tool. He was seen as in the beginning. He was seen as a threat, and then he was seen as a tool in order to get vengeance. So he was only seen as something to either be used or thrown away throughout this movie.
Yeah,
And you saw how it affected him.
yeah, and can we just like talk for one split second about how, compared to the other movies, they actually do portray Paragus really caring about his child as more than just a tool at most portions. Like you see it when during the battle at one specific spot, which I'm sure you remember. You see it at the beginning when he's chasing after Broly as he's being shipped away to some desolate planet.
Yes, he definitely cared, but he still manipulated him.
Oh yeah, he was more bent on revenge than anything else. But there were
and
times
he
where
saw.
he definitely showed father. What's the best way to describe it? A lot of the things that he did, for example, the collar, he did bad things for the right reasons.
Yeah, he was still a sucky dad though. I mean, the only good part about his parenting was that he chased after Brawly after he was shipped away.
Yeah, and then
Everything after that, like, he shot Brawly's pet on
he
the
shot
planet.
Brawly's only friend's ear off. Like, that was extra rude.
Oh yeah. So it was like, yeah. So I was like, and then he trained him to the best of his ability, but he mainly saw him as a way to get revenge against the planet Vegeta and the inhabitants and all that. So he wasn't, his Paragus' view of Brawly started off as, parent child, but then it became, more of a I don't want to say master servant. Wasn't that strong, but it was like,
it was more like he
maybe
saw
five notches away from being that.
Yeah, like he saw him as an extension of a piece of revenge, but ultimately, especially during the actual main fight that we watch, you do see him kind of come to terms with like, oh damn, like, this is my son and he might die out here. Like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's when his fatherness definitely comes out the most.
What about that Bardock backstory and everything with the Frieza and Frieza's father, King Cold, and all that? They did a nice tidbit of of that little flashback right there.
Yeah, so actually that was something that I really wanted to get into. I really, really enjoyed this. And what people have to understand is Toriyama had released something called Dragon Ball Minus, which was a canon, his version of Bardock, because as people know, he wasn't the creator of the Bardock special. Yeah, he proposed designs and whatnot, but he wasn't the ultimate maker of it. This way, he's now the maker of it. Now, the issue with Minus is that when Frieza was going to destroy the planet, Bardock's main thing was just, I have a hunch he's going to destroy the planet. I should ship Kakarot off. While in the movie, it's actually stated, he finds out that Frieza soldiers and minions are asking around about the legendary Super Saiyan and whatnot. They actually give backstory to how Bardock would know and deduce that, hey, this guy's a jackass. He's going to try to kill us. I'm not going to go into too many specifics about that because even though it's a flashback, it's stuff that we never see before. For example, we find out that King Cold is actually the main ruler of Vegeta and other planets, but he was retiring, so he left Frieza in charge. We also see the actual introduction of Scouters, because before we just kind of figured it out through Raditz and whatnot. This way we actually get backstory on how it works, when it was introduced, what it does, and we get an amazing display of how they work from Frieza, and I'm pretty sure you can attest
How
to that.
badass was that scene where he used the Scouters and key sniped all three of those Saiyans?
Yeah, he's like,
building.
They have weapons trained on us. Bink! And that's how they work. And it's just like, yo, chill.
Yeah, they did a really good job. I didn't see that coming at all. So the getting more of a background on Frieza and King Cold and seeing how the interactions between them and the Saiyans went was cool. And I don't know why, but for the first time, and I know it's already probably been mentioned by many other people before, or it's been already thought of, but for the first time while I was watching this movie, I was really like, when Bardock was, shipping Goku off to Earth and everything, I was like, this is just like Superman.
Yeah, so
I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner.
It's really kind of annoying because the original backstory to Goku was, he was just scheduled to ship off and he got lucky. But now Toriyama kind of just made this like straight up, yeah, this is some Superman shit, which kind of sucks. When you think about it, Goku really is like the Japanese Superman. And this just kind of makes it worse. Right. But I still love the way they portrayed in the movie, especially how they show that not all Saiyans are warrior classes. You have technicians, you have engineers, you have people that use weapons because they can't use key control like, Bardock and other soldiers can. And even though it's super cheesy what Bardock says about Kakarot before he ships him off, I still think that it's very fitting and it's a very emotional touch to add when he's shipping off Goku. I know I keep popping between Kakarot and Goku, but it's just kind of, I'm thinking in the personality of Bardock and other characters. Basically, he said that he's so tired of always destroying stuff, he wants to save at least something before his life ends. And he says that to Gine, which is Goku's mother. And when he puts him down with the pod, he straight up tells him, like, look, if I'm wrong about this, I will come and I will find you and bring you home. But if I'm not, I just want to be safe. So, it's cheesy, but it's like, it's really heartfelt, and you do feel the emotion.
Another thing I learned while they were doing this flashback story or backstory of Planet Vegeta that I didn't know before was that I had no idea Vegeta had a brother.
Really? You didn't know?
I did not know that. Nope.
Yeah, he's got a brother.
I heard he's weak as shit.
He is extremely weak as shit.
Really?
Oh yeah, like this dude is like below Raditz weak. Like it's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah. But and a side note, can we just talk about baby Vegeta and baby Raditz? Like that was adorable as shit. Like bro, like
Yeah, they didn't give a damn about the planet being blown up.
no, Vegeta's first response was just, "Oh damn, I'll never be king." Like yo,
What about Nappa with hair?
yo, Nappa with hair was freaking weird, man. I didn't like that, dude. Like it looked so weird. Like it looked like somebody took like one of those fake glue-on mustaches and just smacked it on his head, man.
I was with my boy was with me while I was watching the movie, and I turned to him. And usually I don't talk during movies while they're playing, but I had to ask him. I was like, "Is that Nappa?" And he was like, "Yeah." He had a toupee on, like a toupee.
That was some raggedy ass shit he had on his head, man.
I was like, Nappa was losing his hair early in the game. Hey, I would have just shaved my head then.
No, exactly.
With the hairstyle he had,
That's
he
some
was like
fugly stuff.
like a turnip.
Yeah, yo, like it looked like a big patch of underarm hair.
Oh, it was funny though. But so getting into more into the movie. Another thing that we see now a little bit of a comedy thing. To present day, Frieza. After the movie takes place after Tournament of Power, which I'm glad they did that. It's like right because after the Tournament of Power, I was like, all right, I was never really. It took me a while to watch the Tournament of Power, like that whole series, the whole Super series actually.
Yeah.
It took me a minute to watch that, and then when I actually started watching it, in the beginning I was pissed because the first 100 episodes were solely based off of Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F. And I watched all those episodes. So I was pissed because I was like, all right, well, I shouldn't have wasted time watching these episodes because I saw the movies already. So then after that, I took a break from Super. And I was like, all right, I keep hearing good things about him. Keep watching it. So I went back to watching it. And then I started off right where the Zamasu and Goku Black saga started. So I was like, all right, this is amazing. And that's where everything started taking off for me. So Tournament of Power, went through. And after Tournament of Power, I found myself wanting more Dragon Ball Super. That's the effect it had on me. So when they started this movie, right on, the setting was right after this tournament. I was like, all right, good. They're getting right into it. There's no big time gaps or anything. We didn't miss anything. So I was grateful for that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So it starts off with the Dragon Balls, right? It starts off with the Dragon Balls being stolen from Bulma.
It starts off with Goku and Vegeta sparring on Bulma's personal island that she bought and made specifically so that they can battle without destroying anything. And the key point of it is, the Dragon Balls are being stolen, which we get a nice little cameo from.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, and I have a very strong opinion about Trunks and Goten, but I'm not going to get into it during this episode.
Oh, what? What is it?
No, I'm tired of them. Like, what are they there for? Like,
really bad comedic relief.
Yeah, back in the day, they were actually useful. Like in the Majin Buu saga, when they fused and everything and trained. But over time, they just become more watered down and more. They're like furniture. They're just there.
They're outclassed. Like if anything, they're fodder for the enemy, which is bad. Like they're not Yamcha level, but they're basically Yamcha level usefulness.
Yeah, so every time I see them, I'm like, all right, they're just going to be a little bit of a side story or some bullshit, but whatever. So anyway, I can get into that, a different episode, but because I do have a lot to say about that, more than what I just said. But yeah, so it starts off with the Dragon Balls being stolen, and Trunks and Goten tell Bulma, and we find out Frieza stole the Dragon Balls. All right, and the reason he stole them was almost identical to the reason why Bulma was collecting them.
Oh my god! And can we just talk real quick about how Frieza was so smart that he sent low-level warriors to go steal them so that nobody could sense their energy. These guys were literally rappelling from the ceiling by rope just to grab them. Like, it is hilarious. Like, this
Yeah, they
is
couldn't even fly.
classic.
That was-
No, like, this is some classic, like, old style robbery type shit, and it is great.
Yeah, and there are 2 members of the Frieza Force, I believe, that were out traveling around space. And during their space travels, they land. How did they find the planet Brawley's on?
I believe they picked up a signal that
Oh, a distress signal. That's
the
right.
distress signal that Paragus has sent out a long time ago.
Yeah, so they're just now finding the signal. And Paragus has got like a gray beard, a full man, caveman beard. And Brawley's entrance, was that not epic?
That was he dynamic entried the shit out of that bug, man.
Yes,
He
that
came
was
in
Brawley
here,
came in like a boss.
8th gate guy freaking kicking Majora in the face. Like, this was great.
So these 2 Frieza Force members, they pretty much help Brawley and Paragus off the planet that they're on. And, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not giving... I hope it doesn't seem like we're skipping around, because I'm not going to give away a bunch of spoilers or anything for this movie. I'm just giving you like the main... I'm kind of like paving the road, but not, giving you any, I'm not telling you what the road's made out of, pretty much.
Yeah, it's an extended blurb.
So they pretty much find Brawley, and they find out that him and Paragus are Saiyans. They inform Frieza, which leads to Frieza pulling some mischievous bullshit and bringing them to the planet Earth in order to come in contact with Goku and Vegeta. But Frieza wants those Dragon Balls too, but not for the reasons why you might think. Okay.
No. Barry Blue said it best. Oh man, what did he say? When she said it straight to Frieza's face, what he was going to wish for.
Oh yes, that's right.
Her name is Barry Blue. It took me a few seconds to get that too when I first heard her name. But if there's one,
that was the green chick.
That was the fat alien that's always with him. That looks like
that's right,
King
that's
Kai
right.
on weed.
Okay.
So the only spoiler I'm giving is that Chile is fan service 100%, man.
Oh yeah, she was all pulling her uniform top down a little bit and showing the titties and everything. I was like, really?
Like leaning over, it was subtle stuff that like if you just blink you'll miss it. Like it's stuff like it's not like she's like flaunting it. She's just like talking casually and then does it, or like when she leans over looking out the window and like arches the back and then it like
looking right at Brawley
in on Limo instead. And it's just like, yo, I see what you're doing, Toriyama. You need to chill. There are children here.
She was looking right at her. She had her eyes on Brawley too.
Oh yeah, dude. You know she wants that.
She wanted to get that back broken. She would have got split in half. Oh, all right. I gotta stop being so vulgar. No, I don't. I love it. She was trying to get those coconuts rubbed.
Yo.
But anyway,
she wanted those Dragon Balls, man.
She's trying to get those berries razzed. trying to get that bust off. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
All right, I'm done.
You sure? You got it all in your system?
I did, yeah. But all right, so let's talk a little bit about the fight.
Ooh.
That fight that everyone. Let's talk a little bit about that. Now, was that animation, and was there some CG involved in there too?
Yes. So they had
some of those landscapes and everything being blown away.
They had some CGI landscapes and some CGI small scenes during the fight, which I believe were by Arc Systems, same people who made Dragon Ball FighterZ. And the reason for
I've never seen.
The reason for it is
I've
is
never.
really
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I've never seen a fight like so destructively beautiful.
Yeah, and that's
if
one of the
that
reasons,
makes sense. Like,
yeah, like that's one of the reasons why they had to do it is because if they were to have hand drawn that, it would have been very tedious, very hard to get dimensions completely correct every time, and it would have been very time expensive and costly. So they opted to use 3D animation for those parts, which again makes sense. You want to save time and money, get this out as soon as possible while looking as beautiful as possible. And like the only gripe I had was in one scene where they kind of cut to Goku Super Saiyan Blue, and you could definitely tell it's like CG animation, and then it changes to 2D a little crudely. But other than that, the whole entire fight was spectacular visually all the way through.
Oh yes, it was so beautiful. It was like I was amazed. Like my eyes were. I leaned forward in my seat while I was watching this fight.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and I got something to say too, people. Listen, people, hear up. Listen up. All right, run this. Let's run this back for a second. All right, let's run this back. Now, Vegeta. Let me talk about Vegeta for a second. My man, Vegeta. Vegeta stepped up. I will say this one time. He stepped up in this movie. Usually, Vegeta is used so that we know as viewers how strong the enemy is. Okay. That's how they use Vegeta. They use him as a way to gauge the enemy's strength. All right. But in this movie, Vegeta put in some work. He put in some work.
Damn
Now,
near
correct me if
ended
I'm
it
wrong.
himself.
Yeah, he put in some work. And he started off fighting first. He put in work. And I gotta say, I did not think it was gonna go that way. I'm not gonna say what happened, but I did not think Vegeta was gonna put in that much work. I thought he was gonna, be like, cocky, like, oh, I'm the Saiyan Prince, I'm the Prince of all Saiyans, and then get his ass beat all quick, like pop. But it didn't turn out that way. It turned out better than I thought it would, and which leads me to my next point. The trailers, and this has been confirmed in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything. But Broly was putting in work in base form. Oh my goodness.
Yo, this is the first time I think Dragon Ball's ever done this. They gave a first person perspective when he hits Vegeta and he starts going through the ice, and that looks so fucking cool on the big screen.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I completely forgot about that. That first person perspective they gave was amazing. It was so amazing. Like to see Broly, to see it from his point of view fighting Vegeta. I cannot wait till, if you haven't seen the movie yet, people, I cannot wait till you do. Definitely watch it before it leaves theaters, because you're definitely going to want to see this first person perspective and this beautiful destructive I don't know what to call it. I'm just at a loss for words.
Yeah, the destructive nature of this movie was just astounding. Just visualizing everything was just beautiful. Like, I'm pretty sure that when they originally drew this up, they probably didn't think it was going to look this beautiful. And I know that everybody that worked on this movie cannot be anything but proud of the way that it turned out, because it's astounding. It had like an $8.5 million budget, and I think so far, or at least my last thing that I saw, it's gotten up to almost 88 or 89 million dollars in revenue already. Like, it's astounding. This movie is worth every single penny that you pay to see it.
So I think it already beat. Did that already beat Resurrection F? Because I think so far, I believe Resurrection F so far has been the highest grossing anime film.
Oh yeah, it has.
So,
it has been. The last thing that I checked, it said that the box office was 87.8 million on Broly.
Yeah. So what's the Can you look up the one for Resurrection F?
Yeah, of course.
Right now?
I actually have it right
appreciate
here.
Oh, you do?
In box office it made 64.8 million. So yeah, it beat out Resurrection F.
Oh wow! So it blew Resurrection out of the water.
Oh yeah, by over 20 million.
Wow. That's amazing, and I knew that would happen.
Yeah, and then Battle of Gods, I mean, that one, it only brought in 51.2 million, so it's pretty easy to see that, the next Dragon Ball movie, if and when, because we know they're going to, if and when they release it, not only is it going to be exponentially better than this one, which is going to be extremely hard to top, but it's going to break that box office. Like, I will not be
Are there
surprised.
other anime films on there?
I just did a quick Google search, and I was pulling up the listings and the recorded the incomes for each.
Can you find out what was the My Hero Academia movies box office? I know I mentioned it before, but I just want to remind myself real quick. I'm pretty sure it was.
It was called Two Heroes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, it brought in 19.53 million US dollars.
Okay. Well,
So,
there's a reason for that, but I'm not going to get in. No, I'll get into it a little bit. All right. So obviously, and we mentioned it a little bit last episode with Bill and Dandy. I believe it was last episode, but definitely the Dragon Ball franchise has been around a lot longer, has a large fan base, very huge fan base. But the thing about, because you don't really have to be you don't have to be an anime fan to appreciate Dragon Ball.
Oh, it's
Like there are a lot of people who.
Oh no, I was gonna say it. It was really one of like the forefronts or the father figures for anime in the U.S. and the Western world.
Yeah, because I met a lot. Like I've met a lot of people who are like, they say, "Oh, I love anime too." I'm like, "Really? Like, what anime do you watch?" I'm all about Dragon Ball Z, but they don't watch anything else. and they say they love anime. So that goes to show like they're different. Like you don't really have to be. You like not all. You don't have to be an anime fan to appreciate Dragon Ball. Like Dragon Ball is, everyone watches it from the hood to the suburbs to the everyone
Yup.
does and you don't have to like know, but the sad thing is that a lot of those people don't really take time to watch other anime. So if they did, then honestly, I think the My Hero Academia 2 Heroes film would have been a much higher box office hit.
Oh yeah, like I wouldn't go as
It would
far
have
to
been way
say.
more, it would have been up there. It would have been up there with Resurrection F, I believe, but only because My Hero Academia their fan base isn't as huge, even though it's shonen. Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball franchise has a much bigger fan base and everything.
Oh yeah, like
But
I think that it would definitely be at least up on par with Battle of Gods. I don't know if it would be up to Resurrection F, but I mean,
it's just that when you go see a Dragon Ball Z movie, what do you expect to see? Any type of Dragon Ball episode or movie, or what do you expect to see?
I expect to see high quality action. I expect.
All right, right there. That's all I need. That's all I need to hear. Action, fighting, things blowing up. Right.
Yeah.
That's why people love Dragon Ball Z because of the fighting. They don't go watch it for the plot. They go just to see people get faces punched, Kamehameha waves, spirit bombs, death beams, special beam cannons, Gallic guns, all that good stuff. All right.
Speaking of plot, though, people listening, if you think that this movie is just all bronze and no brains, you are mistaken. This movie has an astounding story to it.
Well, I wasn't trying to say that was the case.
Oh, no, I know you're
I'm
not,
not saying
but I'm
this
saying
movie-
for people that don't know anything about the new Broly movie, this movie has a ton of story and lore, and it is for
Oh
everyone.
yeah, especially compared to the older version.
Oh, yeah, come on. The older Broly movies is Legendary Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan Goku.
Yep, and a lot of Kakarots being screamed.
Kakarot.
That's about it. Yeah, but no, there's only one thing I didn't like about this film,
Oh, I've been waiting for this.
and it was the end of the battle. That's the only thing I didn't like. I thought it was a bit of a cop out. How the
So
fight ended.
I will say that in normal circumstances, I would completely agree 100%. I think that it is very cheap and a really shitty way out. But
It was very anticlimactic in my opinion.
it was, but at the same time, for me, it's what they really didn't want to do what they were about to do. They really didn't want.
I just needed a clear. When I see a fight, I want a clear winner and a clear loser. No one has to die, but I want a winner and a loser. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh no. Like it was already stated by the person who made it happen what was going to happen. It was pretty obvious from the choice of words that they said, and that caused.
It
the
was
action.
it was a cop out for me. That's the only thing. The movie would have gotten a 9.5. Not. I never give anything a perfect 10. It's very, very rare for me to. But I gave this Dragon Ball Super Broly movie an 8.5.
8.5. I would give
Only
this
because of that ending.
I would give it a 9. Again with the whole air quotes cop out ending, I understand where you're coming from, and again, under normal circumstances, I would be 100% agreeing with you. But because of how they portray Broly in this movie and how much they make you feel and coincide with him, for me, it's one of those like, oh, thank God that happened sort of things. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, damn, I want to see this. But it's heavily implied from the ending that we're definitely going to see more of this. And it's also heavily implied that somebody was going to get their ass cheeks clapped.
Yeah, but I just like I said, I wanted a clear just because you fight does not mean you have to kill the other person. You know what I mean?
Well,
like they could have went about that a whole different way.
But Broly was feral. There was no turning back for him until that happened. That People go watch the movie and
Yeah,
listen until the very,
I might end up spoiling it.
Listen to the very last line, because that last line was heavy fan service.
I don't remember that last line, but
It's what Goku said at the end, right before credits rolled.
I remember what he was talking to him about.
You
But,
know what?
all right.
You know what? I got this. I'm gonna type it.
Okay, yeah, do that for me. Thank you. Thank God for Zencaster.
There you go.
That's right. Okay. All right. Yes. I do remember him saying that. All right. I thought you meant like something else he said.
Oh no! Trust me, I waited to the end of credits to see if there was anything extra at the end, but no, there wasn't.
Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, definitely go watch the film. All right. We did our best not to give away any big major spoilers. I think we did a good job.
I think so too. It was very hard to hold back. Like I want to burst open like a damn can, just trying to talk about everything about this movie.
Yeah, I know. I think I kind of did too, but I don't want to spoil it. I want people to have the chance to view it more.
Oh yeah,
before
that,
we
and I
that.
really want these people to support the official release. Like, you know, this is a major movie with a pretty big budget for an animated film, and it's spectacular. It deserves every cent that it can get.
Yeah, I mean, it's already the highest grossing anime movie, so I mean, it's already doing well for itself, so that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this this episode. I'm glad that we had the time to do it. I'm glad everyone came on to listen. And also, please leave us a review on either iTunes or one of our other platforms. But I appreciate to hear what you think and how we can improve or what you think we're doing. Or if you have any type of topic you want us to talk about on our podcast, let us know and we'll definitely include it. And which could even give you a chance to maybe be on the show. All right. So, Majora, you have anything you want to say before we sign out for the evening?
If you can afford it, go watch this movie. I guarantee that you will not be disappointed. And
if they can afford it.
Hey,
if you can afford $10.
Listen, all right. If it's between watching the Broly movie and buying yourself some dinner, you're gonna be watching a nice ass movie. I'll tell you that.
A dinner at Burger King. Yeah, but I agree. Definitely skip the Burger King. You shouldn't be eating Burger King anyway. All right, so fuck the Burger King, fuck the Taco Bell, fuck the McDonald's. All right, go take that $10 and go buy the ticket for the Brawling movie, and thank me later. Thank Majora later. Thank the podcast later. All right, just thank us all because we're all amazing, and you guys are amazing too, especially if you listen to us. All right. So I need to go get a drink because I'm thirsty, and I don't mean the I'm not talking about water. I'm talking about that good brown shit called whiskey. Because today's my last day off before I go back to work, so I need to make it last.
Supper.
Yeah, right. So everyone have a good night.